Alrighty, Groundhog's Day. So in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the hallucinogenetics performance of this one. Probably would be my favorite performance of this. Okay, so we're going to start with this chord strum here. So that's A15, D14, G15. And then we are into the verse riff. Alright, to slow that down. Okay, so we're going to start out with that chord from the intro. Just start strumming. And so throughout this verse riff, the strums upward are going to be, kind of soft. Sometimes those are even muted, but more on that in a bit. Alright, so we got... Now we're going to strum downward, and as we do that, do a hammer-on with your pinky onto G17. So... Okay, then quickly rip your pinky off there, then do a couple more strums of just G15 with that, so like... Couple more strums in there, so... So next we're going to do a muted strum upward, but as you do that with your left hand, transition from this to this. So these two fingers are going to slide down 2 frets, so A13, D12. But then your pinky is going to take over for your ring finger at G15. Okay. Then do 2 strums of that. So what we have so far. Okay, so after, we're going to take these 2 fingers up a fret. The pinky's going to stay where it is at G15. And then we're going to do down strum, up strum. So like... But then as we strum down, we're going to slide up these 2 fingers to the first chord that we started with. Okay, and then we're going to start from the beginning again, but right before that, hammer on to G17. Be sure to switch back to using your ring there at G15. So second time around here, after the, instead of going, we're only going to do that once. So second time around, it's like, then muted strum upward, as with the left hand, we switch back to, so these 2 fingers down a fret, and then your pinky back at G15. Next, take these 2 fingers, slide them down a fret, so back to strum downward, then do a muted strum upward, and then move your fingers back again to, for strum down, strum up, so like... So then right after that final strum up, slide your fingers back to our original chord, strum down, and then that's kind of the riff, like start to back, and then just repeat that. So... So during the lyrics of this song, he actually only plays the first ending to this verse riff. So only, right? So there are no, okay? And another difference here is when he's saying the lyrics and playing the verse riff, he doesn't do any slides or hammer-ons. So it's going to be a little different. It's going to go more like this. Right, so instead of, it's not a hammer-on, it's just a straight strum with the G17 there, so. Okay, and then, you know, there's no slide there. Okay, and now for the chorus. Alright, so we're going to be strumming this chord here at, so it's the same chord shape as, but down here at 11 and 12. And with your thumb, wrap it around the neck to mute the E string there, so you don't have to worry about that ringing out when you're strumming away here. So the strumming pattern here is going to be, okay, so yeah, to hit those muted strums upward, you know, be sure to let up tension with the left hand so you're not fretting the notes. Alright, so, and then again, but we're going to move it down a fret for the, okay. So at the end of the first chorus, with the, you're going to let that ring out, and then kind of like slide up back into, but you know, by the time you get there it's going to be kind of quiet, so kind of like this. Okay, so then we have the second verse, and then in the second chorus, after the first, oh yeah, we have this, so the second chorus is actually not going to end with a, it's going to stay up here. It's just going to be some simple strumming up and down, ending with a, so more like, alright, so in the third verse, right after he says Georgia boots on my feet, we're going to play the verse riff a lot more quietly. And with the last shouted my day, we have two last strums here at, and then do a slap and slide on the E string into the bridge riff. Okay, to slow that down a bit. Alrighty, so we're going to start with a strum at DG6. Slide down with that. And then do a double slap, muted. I'm not really sure which strings he does it on. I usually do it on the A string, I think. Open G pop. So. Okay. And then we're going to do a, so A6, slap, hammer on 7, muted slap, and then another slap at 6 hammer on 7. Okay. Alright. And then we have a 5 strums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 2 are muted strums. And then the last 3 are 6 here. So this kind of depends on the performance though, because like for example in the earlier days, like KZSU, like the radio jam thing, it's 4 muted strums and then 1, right, instead of. So do that 3 times. And then the 4th time is going to go like this. So after the, instead of doing a, we're just going to do a muted slap. Getting your hand there on the strings, ready for the pop at open G again. And then slap E7. Okay, so from the top. So then we're going to do all of that again. So it's like 3 rounds of that ending, which I'm just going to call ending A, and then 1 round of, you know, so like 3, 1, 3, 1. And then when the lyrics come in the bridge, he only does the first ending. So the is not going to happen when he's saying the lyrics. So after the first section of lyrics in this bridge, we're back into having the ending B, and that's going to go A, B, A, B before the second section of lyrics come in. So kind of like this. So we're going to do some more of that after the second section of lyrics here. And then we have this little bit here that goes like this. Okay, so instead of doing the, we're going to do 4 muted strums, and then back into it. So it's 6, 9, 8, 12, 11, 14, and then quickly jump back down to 6 on a down strum, and then, you know, continue the bridge riff. So when you're doing that, alternate, you know, just up and down strums, like. Up next, just before the jam part, which is going to be fun, we have this bit here. Now, the jam. So, this whole thing is going to be entirely just regular fingerstyle, and the notes we're going to be hanging around are again. There's going to be a few C's thrown in there as well, but for the most part it's those notes. So in breaking this whole son of a bitch down, instead of me going A4, muted note, A4 twice, A2, for this entire thing, thus driving myself and you the viewer insane, I'm going to play this jam with tabs on the screen. I'm going to play it a bit slowed down, and I'm going to do this kind of in chunks. Welcome back. So yeah, we're back into the bridge riff, and we're going to do another one of these. Okay, and then we're going to start doing this. Okay, so the 4 muted strums, and then strum the bar chord at 6, but throw in the A4 as well. And then up here to 7 and 9, and then down a fret. And here is a great place to use distortion. And then do that again. Again. Now I think he hits the harmonic at the 9th fret, and like does some whammy with that. Okay, and wrapping this song up. So, still with our octave, power chord, whatever shape, 6, 4, and then up here to 7, 9, again, down a fret to 6, 8, up to 10, 12, so, then down to 9 and 11, so after that strum, start doing some of this at A9 with some, of those strums thrown in there. So I think in total there are 3 strums at 11. And then, yeah, just close up the song with a... So, yeah, that's about it. Groundhog's Day.